Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to day 9 of small video tips to make a big difference. I am your host, your leader, Renée Marino, here with all the amazing tips, and I can't wait to share with you. It is a beautiful day here. It really is a gorgeous day on this Thursday in New Jersey. And today, let's see what we're going to talk about today. Today, we are going to talk about how is getting on video different than public speaking? And this is a question that I got directly from you, my audience, so I wanted to answer it. How is getting on video different than public speaking? Well, here's the obvious. One is in person, where there are real lives in front of us that we can connect with, versus the other, which is through a lens, through a screen. So right there, that's different, right? And most of us, most people would assume that that means it's completely different. Wrong. It is not completely different. It's actually more similar than you think. See, the course that I teach is called Connecting on Camera for a reason, because I believe at the core of every interaction, whether it is virtual, whether it's in person, is connection. We all want to create relationships, whether those are personal or business. And we do that through genuine connections. And what holds most people back when they get on camera is they think, oh, well, there's no one really there. Right? So I'm talking to myself. But when you start to flip the script in your mind and say, okay, hold on. If I believe that there are actual human beings, people behind this lens, that is how I create connections. Just like when I'm public speaking. When you're public speaking, you can often see the faces of those who are watching you, right? So it makes it a little bit easier to feel like you're really connecting with them. I get it. I completely get it. I have been on stages my entire life. I love that authentic, real, energetic shift, right? From seeing people in that audience. I understand. Nothing to me is better than that in-person connection. But when we go on video, in order to be our best selves, our most confident selves, we have to remember that there are people. Just as if it were an audience on a real stage, there's an audience behind that lens. So when we in our minds realize that, and we place that person who we're most comfortable with in our life in that camera lens, that changes everything. Then there's not much of a difference between being on camera or public speaking. The preparation is all the same. First and foremost, you have to know what you're speaking about. Hello in the chat box. Please let me know where you're coming from. Tell me your name, where you're coming from. The preparation is the same. Whether you are public speaking, whether you are on a live video or a standard video, first and foremost, you have to know what you're talking about, right? So that preparation is the same. Starting out with that first draft, if you will, just like me as an author, I had to do a first draft where you really lay everything out, almost like a brain dump. First, figure out what you're talking about. Then with each draft, it becomes tighter and smaller until you get to the point where you're like, this is basically my outline of what I'm going to talk about. So the preparation between public speaking, speaking on video is the same. It requires energy, right? You want to be at your highest energy so you are clear and focused and excited to share your message, whether it's on a real stage or a virtual stage. So as you can see, there are so many similarities. One is just on camera. One is in front of people where you can feel their energy. But I promise you, when you start to believe that there are actual people behind the camera, which there are, that's how you create those real connections, just like you can in person. One difference, when you're public speaking, you can do more walking back and forth, right? Getting a little bit closer to the audience, getting further away, where when you do a video, it's better to stay a bit more still, like you're grounded, like that tree rooted in the ground, because we only have this much space, right? So if we're kind of walking back and forth and swaying, it's really distracting. So we have to know the limits that we have with the camera. But that doesn't mean that if you're like myself, you can't still talk with your hands. I'm a hand talker. But you want to keep yourself more grounded, whether it's seated or whether it is standing. Obviously, when you're public speaking, you can walk the length of the stage. If you have a handheld microphone or a little microphone that is portable, you can kind of walk where you like. That's a difference. Yes, I have hand talkers too in the chat box. I love it. But one of my biggest goals as a communication coach, especially teaching this virtual communication, is to start to change your perspective to thinking that it's the you who is the you in person when you're around your friends and your family, and then it's the you when you're on camera. I'm behind a screen. This is me. It's different than the regular me. No. We have to start to believe, to know that that person is the same. Whether you meet me on the street or whether you see me on a video and then we begin speaking and interacting, it's the same person. I don't look at myself any different. It's not like all of a sudden I go, oh, camera Renee, it's different. Oh, public speaking Renee, it's different. No. My whole purpose as a communication coach is to help you to create genuine connections in your life and business by being your most authentic self. That is what creates connection. That is what builds relationships. That is what builds businesses. Nothing is more important than that. So if you keep thinking that you're two different people, Renee with my friends and family, Renee when the camera's on, that is what's holding you back. Because you're thinking that it's much more difficult to get on video than it needs to be, because you think getting on video requires this other set of rules, and it doesn't. The ground level, most important part when you get on video is being so yourself that people cannot help but be attracted to you because you're being so authentic. That doesn't mean you're going to be for everyone. Not everyone's going to love you, but in life, not everyone's going to love you. That's not your concern. Your concern is knowing and making sure that you are the same you, right? Whether it's meeting me outside in real life or meeting me on video, it's the same person. That is so sweet. Renee is amazing. Just finished her connecting on camera training. Outstanding. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Yes, my course was the past 2 days and it was amazing. My clients literally lit up my heart so much that after the first day of the course, I was like talking to my mom and my husband all about everyone in the course and how excited I was. Thank you for saying that. That means a lot to me. And what they learned in the course on a deeper level, that it's all about leaning so far into who you are that there's nowhere else to go. So whether that is you public speaking on a stage in front of thousands or in front of one video camera that is going to be able to reach people globally, it does not matter. It's you. You are the common ingredient in every scenario. You. So I'd like you to focus on learning how to love yourself fully, learning how to let all of those ideas and things that hold you back go so you can simply lean into who you are 100%. As I said, the preparation whether you're speaking on a real stage or a virtual stage, is the same. The biggest difference is that when you're in person, you can move back and forth. You're not really limited to this small space because you're on camera. And that is the biggest difference. And also, camera's a little more exciting because you can cheat and you could have your notes in front of you without people seeing or knowing. That's a little technique you learn in my Connecting on Camera course. But that's the other difference. Where a lot of public speakers, sure, they have their notes with them in front of them. But if you wanted to be someone who speaks in public without the notes, then it's you up there, my friends, speaking from the heart. Having solidified practice beforehand, that way when you get on that stage, you can speak with confidence. But when we learn to bring our real self, that same real self who is with our friends and family, to the camera, that is when we reach gold. And by gold, I mean the gold of being completely ourselves, the goal of being genuinely who we are. That is one of my main goals as a communication coach, to just pull out who you are fully, entirely, not impersonating someone or trying to be a lot like someone else, being you. There you go, my friends. Public speaking on camera, it can be one and the same. It's about flipping that script in your brain to thinking that it's so different. What's most important is you. No matter where you're speaking, people are coming to hear your message, to see you speak, and they want to see you. And the reason I know this is because if they weren't coming to see you, they would be listening to someone else. But they're listening to you. So do yourself a favor and everyone else a favor and bring your real self. That's all I wanted to say today. I love you all. Happy Thursday. And if there are any questions, as always, message me. I'm so grateful that you're all here. This was day 9 of small video tips to make a big difference. Mwah.